oil's a futures market. It's because you have a president of the United States that was threatening to put oil executives in jail. By the way, the reason why gas prices are down now isn't necessarily because of the reserves. That's minimal. It's because we're in a recession and we're going into a recession.
Did demand. Yeah, demand
is driving that.
Destroyed demand. So it's artificial.
So no, we need to drill, and we need to elect a president who's not going to go out there and say let's jail oil execs. Because when you're prospecting for oil, you're talking about a long-term investment. Why are you going to invest in 20 years from now when Democrats are saying they want to ban oil in 20 years?
Yeah, and we don't even have the infrastructure to have solar, wind, and renewables as an effective source of energy.
No,
and we're not even close to getting that infrastructure built to even get there.
No, not at all.
Not even close. You know what I think we could do from like a student loan perspective, right? And I just thought about this, and it's that. What if you just forgave the student loans of what if you were to forgive the student loans of people, but in return they have to spend like 5 years helping to build the infrastructure to like sustain something like that.
I mean,
instead of like having to print up trillions of dollars to do this stuff on a multi-years long basis where that money doesn't even get accounted for anyway, and you just create massive inflation. Like, what if hypothetically that were to happen where they're like, hey man, we're going to forgive the loans that we lent you, or at least like the interest or like a large percentage of it, but you got to work and you have to help build, you have to modernize and update our infrastructure so that we can actually use these renewable sources of energy in conjunction with fossil fuels, so that we can have like cheaper.
How did you just tie student loan to fossil fuels?
Well, you just incentivize a cheap and affordable, like a cheaper and more efficient way to like improve your infrastructure, and you just say, hey man, you get to build these, you get to update these. You get to update this new infrastructure that we're trying to do, and we'll forgive your loans in exchange for that, and we're going to pay you like $9 an hour for 3 years to do that.
I mean, here's.
I'm just throwing it out. I'm just throwing an idea because I think it's good to come up with new outside the box ideas to just see what's.
Yeah, economically, the student loan forgiveness issue is something that I don't think is tenable. Because first of all, it's a huge who is it a handout to? It's a huge handout to universities, who are already able to charge far too high tuition because of the student loan programs.
Well, it's because the government's lending the money out at interest. So what if they forgave and after forgiving, they made it illegal for the government to lend money for kids to go to school?
Okay, so yeah, that at least solves a big problem. I mean, I'm against student loan forgiveness. I think if you take out a loan, you pay it back. However, to do it without ending the student loan program is just insane.
Yeah, like you end that program.
Especially because then you incentivize more borrowing that people can't pay back because you continue the program and then you've forgiven the last loan, so people take out tons of money just hoping it'll be forgiven in the future.
No.
Not to mention the fact, what about the people who've already paid
Matt,
them
I
back?
agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and that's why I'm saying that if you do that, you eliminate that program to begin with.
Yeah, and by the way, how about to nip it in the bud, we start controlling the tuition of state schools again and lowering the tuition of state schools. I mean, UT has a multi-billion-dollar endowment. It's flush with cash. We give it money every year from our state budget, taxpayer money.
Why are we doing that?
I don't know, but we should. If we
do, the more money we give to them, the more they spend on bullshit programs which raise their tuition.
Correct. And not only that, but I mean, if public universities, what are we buying? What is the public good that taxpayers are buying? We have private universities that are far too expensive also. So what are we buying? We're buying affordable education, but education is not affordable. So we should be, in exchange for our tax money, tuition should be low enough so that we don't have to take out $100,000, $200,000 loans in order to go to UT or any state school.
No, I agree. That's absolutely bonkers that we're doing it. And honestly, like I used to be a sub in like Hayes County right before COVID, and I would go into like high schools and like tell the kids like they'd have like there was one time they had to do a worksheet on like how college grads made $1 million more than non-college grads in their lifetime, and I'm like, yo, that is central bank propaganda. What everything on this sheet is a lie. That is false. Do you know what student loans are? Do you know what compound interest is? Do you know that you're gonna have to pay that back even after you die? That'll never go away. It's like literally being in a gang, taking out a student loan, and I went off on them, and I'm like, listen, if you don't know exactly what you want to do and you're not fully committed to doing what you want to do, don't go to college. Just go be a plumber. Go like I drive this tricycle around downtown Austin, and I probably do comparable to your teachers.
Yeah.
You know, like so.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, my son's 4 now, but when he's in college, I'd take the amount of money that I would have spent on college and say, let's start a business.
Yeah.